Hey everyone, what's happening? Today we're going to be reviewing Elementary OS 5.1 Hera. And as you can see, it's got a very nice looking desktop to begin with. This is the Pantheon desktop. It is Elementary OS's specific desktop that they develop. It's a GTK based desktop, and they make it a point to say it's not directly a fork of GNOME. So get that out of your head that it is a GNOME fork, because it really isn't. So first of all, we're going to go ahead and check the memory usage in the kernel. So first we're going to go ahead and do a freemem. And as you can see, it's using about 10,000, not 10,000, 1,000 megabytes, almost just under a gig. But I've got a couple windows open, including the screen recorder. So I found it took about 650 megs without stuff running in the background. It's actually not too heavy on the hardware. And we're going to go ahead and do a uname -r. And as you can see, we're running kernel 5, subversion 37. This is based off of Ubuntu 18.04 LTS. So keep that in mind. This isn't based off of a new version of Ubuntu. However, I find that it actually works quite well. But you are going to have some older packages. Now, to go ahead and download Elementary OS, you're going to go to elementary.io. I will link this in the description. And you go right here and it says pay what you want. Now, they suggest $20. However, you can go ahead and enter 0 into it and still get to download Elementary OS. So keep that in mind while you're that you do not have to pay anything to download it. They just are asking for donations there. So now we're going to go ahead and take a good look at the dock down here. And first of all, the first icon that you'll see is the multitasking view. And that's just your workspaces. Different virtual desktops, and you can add different desktops, etc. But that's all that is your workspace switcher. Now, the next one is your browser, and it's kind of interesting choice, actually. And it's actually Epiphany, which is the standard GNOME GTK application for a browser. And not many people use it. I typically don't like it, but some people do use it. I find that Firefox works a little bit better, but that's just my personal opinion. It's not terrible, but it's just something I just don't like, and I swap it out with Firefox. But that is up to you. Now, the next one is the Mail client, and now this is a custom mail client that they develop. Now this is literally a junk email, but I'm gonna go ahead and block that out. But it's just their own standard mail client that they developed themselves. You just click on it to read it, standard mail. The next application on the dock is the calendar. And this is a custom application that Elementary develops for themselves. And it works quite well. It's just a calendar. Now, music, what I thought was kind of interesting. It's the default custom music app as well. Elementary develops their own suite of applications to go along with their desktop environment. And as you can see, it kind of looks like iTunes. And I kind of like iTunes. I kind of like this look. Some people hate iTunes, some people don't. But it kind of has that look and feel of iTunes to it. And I actually thought that was quite interesting. So we're going to go ahead and close out of that. And videos is, again, part of their suite of applications. It's just a default video player. That's all it does. Next, we have the photo app right here, which is basically your basic photo app or library of photos. This is also part of the Elementary suite of applications that Elementary develops for this operating system. Then the next is, of course, the system settings. Basically, your control panel for your system settings that you see in Windows, kind of, and a lot of other desktop environments. The thing I'd like to draw your attention to is this parental control right here. Now, this is a nice feature. It allows you to configure time limits and restrict application usage for your children. And it might have some content filtering to filter out adult content. However, don't quote me on that because I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to use it, and I have never actually used this. So just play around with it if you have kids. But it keeps them from signing in when they're not supposed to be using the computer, etc. So it's a really, really nice way to restrict computer usage for your children. Then the next is the App Center. And there are a couple issues I have with the App Center, but they're not major issues. One is you see the same pay what you want scheme right in here. So you can go ahead and contribute to the developers here, but you can't put 0 and still install it. So it's the same deal here. And then the next is, let's go ahead and try to install LibreOffice. What in the world here? As you can see here, you have this non-curated app. It's a curation warning. Now you can disable these by doing that. Now, LibreOffice is a common Linux application. It does this with Firefox too, and GIMP, and a lot of common applications. What this basically means is this is not coming from Elementary, and Elementary does not maintain it, and it's not guaranteed to integrate as far as theming, etc., with Elementary OS. That's all it's saying, is they don't patch it, they don't maintain it, Ubuntu does. You can ignore it. It's not going to break your computer. Not necessarily. It may not match themes or something if you install a Qt-based app or something like that, but that's about it. But I am just going to go ahead and cancel that. Now, also, but the thing is, you can bypass those by doing an apt install. Then enter in your password. I like how the terminal application does the password entering too. But you don't get a curation warning, you just get your confirmation here, and you can just install it from the terminal. So that was another problem I had with the App Center, but really it works. I didn't find any major problems. It installs applications if you tell it to. Now, another little issue that I could tell is it has Flatpak and it's installed by default. However, when I go to Flatpak remotes, as you can see, there's no remote install by default. They don't have any repositories added to it. what they expect you to do, and it took me going to the website to figure out. They want you to go to flathub.org, like here, and just, let's just say this, and do a side load like this. Now you get an install untrusted app warning. Now I think this warning makes a little bit more sense. So this is not coming from Ubuntu or Elementary at all. Neither of them control FlatHub. I can understand why they have this warning. Of course, you have to click I understand and then you can install it. This is the way they do it, and then it adds FlatHub when you install. But me, I just go ahead and add the repo to the terminal and ignore this altogether. But that is the way they choose to do things. Now we're gonna go up here and review some of the applications here. Now, of course, you start out at accessories here. You have your calculator in your screenshot. I'm not gonna open them all up. Of course, calculator, it's part of the elementary suite of applications. Then, of course, you have the photos there. Epiphany is installed. Firefox is not installed by default. I installed that. And Mail. Now, of course, you have your calendar app. And your programming code is part of the elementary suite of applications as well. It's just your text editor. That's all it does is edit text. Now me, I prefer Atom myself, but this works too. Then you have sound and video. You have your camera app for webcams. And then music. Simple screen recorder I installed. It doesn't come with it. It's what I'm capturing the video with. And of course videos. And then system tools. Then you have files right here. Now, this is a different file manager, as far as I can tell. Now, I'm not sure what it's based off, but it's not Nautilus, it's not Dolphin, it's not Thunar. Of course, it's not Dolphin because Dolphin's Qt. What am I thinking? But it's different. But it's their own fork of something, or it's their own file manager that they develop. But I think it looks pretty nice. And that's pretty much what you get. It's not bogged down with applications, which I like. The desktop environment looks very, very nice. And even though Elementary does have a few bugs, I had some bugs with like the power management, but that could have been my specific hardware that I run this on. It's an older laptop I'm running this on. And there were just a few other little things, but it works. It's stable. I haven't had any major problems. It's not necessarily for me, but I would have no problem just saying that I recommend it. Just keep in mind with the curation warnings that it's nothing critical, and keep in mind that there's no Flatpak remotes enabled by default. And that's my review of Elementary, and thank you for watching. If you like this video, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Also, consider following me on my social media links below. And if you really, really liked it, check out these videos that are listed on your screen. Have a nice day, and thank you for watching The Penguin Revolution.